What I can tell the right honourable gentleman is that all guidance was followed completely.
What I can tell you is that all the guidelines were observed, continue to be observed. I can tell you that the guidelines were followed at all times.
Well, did you investigate that yourself? Were you satisfied yourself that
I have satisfied myself that the guidelines were followed at all times.
But I have been repeatedly assured since these allegations emerged that there was no party and that no COVID rules were broken. I'm sickened myself and furious about that. How infuriating it must be to think that the people who have been setting the rules have not been following the rules.
The evidence I can see is that people in this building have stayed within the rules. As I say, I certainly broke no rules. I can tell you once again that I certainly broke no rules. Those were people at work. Those were meetings of people at work talking about, this is where I live, it's where I work. Those were meetings of people at work talking about work.
Number 10 is a big department with the garden as an extension of the office, which has been in constant use because of the role of fresh air in stopping the virus. And when I went into that garden just after 6 on the 20th of May 2020 to thank groups of staff before going back into my office 25 minutes later to continue working, I believed implicitly that this was a work event.
There's 40 people there, the tables are laid out with food and drink and there's alcohol being served in the middle of a lockdown, and you think that's a work event. That is just ludicrous, isn't it? You are just taking the mickey out of the British people by suggesting that. You know how silly that sounds, don't you?
I think what people need to do is wait and see what the report says.
Let's be absolutely clear. The right honourable gentleman is continuing to ask a series of questions which he knows will be fully addressed by the inquiry. He is wasting this House's time. He's wasting the people's time, Mr. Speaker. He continues to be completely irrelevant, Mr. Speaker.
You wrote those laws. You told the nation to abide by them. You went on television night after night and told them to abide by them. If you are found to have broken them, broken your own laws,
I understand
will you stay in your job?
I understand the question you're raising, but any answer would be interpreted as a point of commentary about the process. I've got to make sure as soon as I have something meaningful to say about this, which will be at the end of the process, I will make sure I do it to you. Received a fixed penalty notice from the Metropolitan Police relating to an event in Downing Street on the 19th of June 2020. And let me say immediately that I've paid the fine and I once again offer a full apology. And in a spirit of openness and humility, I want to be completely clear about what happened on that date. My day began shortly after 7 a.m. and I chaired 8 meetings in number 10, including the Cabinet Committee deciding COVID strategy. I visited a school in Hemel Hempstead, which took me out of Downing Street for over 4 hours. And amongst all these engagements, on a day that happened to be my birthday, there was a brief gathering in the Cabinet room shortly after 2 p.m, lasting for less than 10 minutes, during which people I work with kindly passed on their good wishes. And I have to say, in all frankness, at that time, it did not occur to me that this might have been a breach of the rules. But of course, the police have found otherwise, and I fully respect the outcome of their investigation. I understand the anger that many will feel that I myself fell short when it came to observing the very rules which the government I lead had introduced to protect the public. And I accept in all sincerity that people had the right to expect better. And now I feel an even greater sense of obligation to deliver on the priorities of the British people.